Hey everyone, it's Ashley, and today I'm speaking with show designer Tom Slaughter. So, aside from the director telling you point blank what they want their show to be about, where do you get the inspiration to create such elaborate shows from?
Well, a lot of times the ideas kind of start when I'm just listening to music, and it kind of just makes you think about a story that could go with the music. A lot of times it's based on just personal experiences that you've gone through in your life, and you kind of turn those into a show. A lot of times you watch a movie, you watch a TV show, it's just everything in the world kind of influences us, and we don't really always pay attention to that. But in the end, when you go back and look at what you did, you can find where things like that you didn't think were influencing you at the time actually did, and they made the choices for you.
So, you've worked with so many different groups across all the different class sizes. Is there any class size you like working with particularly?
Well, I really like working with the small bands, and in FMBC, I remember when Mr. Kirsten was alive and we would talk about what was the best thing about FMBC. To us, it was that the small bands really had a great opportunity to be successful, because we know that our activity, since it's outside and the elements, that the big bands definitely have a chance to be a little more impressive at times, just because there's more people. But to find people that are creative and making the small bands and the entertaining things they are today, I think is very, very fun to do, and definitely something I've always enjoyed doing. I've taught small bands forever. In fact, the very first 1A champion in FMBC back in 1998 was Largo High School. I remember those kids like it was yesterday. This little band that just had a great show, and they were a lot of fun to work with. So the small bands definitely have a special place.
So what has been your favorite show to produce so far?
Well, I'm not going to talk about it a lot, but I really like the show we're doing at Sunlake right now. It's one of my favorites so far. Back a long time ago, when you guys weren't even on the planet, at Largo High School, I did a show about the music of Styx, which unless you're a classic rock guy, you don't really know who Styx is. But I loved Styx when I was in high school. I was a big Styx fan, and convinced the band director to do a show about the music of Styx. And it worked really well. It was really, really fun. It was so much fun. We did more Styx music the next year. So always remember those shows. Paradise Theater, which is a Styx album, was a show we did. And we also did Mr. Roboto. We did a show like that. And those were fun. They're old, and if you guys watch them right now, all the kids out there watch them right now, they'd say, oh, that's lame. But back in the day, they were a lot of fun.
So you've also judged many of the FMBC events in the past. Is there any particular competition you're looking forward to judging, or just attending in general?
Well, the ones that I always enjoy judging the most are the ones that I'm there with a lot of my friends. I've had a lot of, haven't judged it for a couple of years, but all the years that I judged the Seminole contest was a lot of fun, because a lot of my friends, because I'm from down in that area, a lot of my friends are down there, so it's always a good chance to judge and see a lot of people. This year I'm judging a show at Oviedo High School in Orlando, which has a lot of my friends from drum corps that are involved with that. So I think usually when you go judge, you see great bands everywhere you go, but a lot of times what makes the judging gig special is who you're getting to hang out with, who you're getting to see, who you're getting to kind of reconnect with that you haven't seen for a while.
So moral of the story, friends are always fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And finally, what's your favorite part about FMBC and just high school marching band in general?
Well, FMBC specifically, the way that they've always treated small bands, and they've always kind of had, so that, like we talked about earlier. But marching band in general, I think it's an activity that a lot of times it's people that, they kind of find themselves in marching band because it physically puts you through something that you never really thought that you would even try or even do, and then by the time it's all over, you're really good at it. And so I think that watching the students for like 4 years, come through in their first band camp and they're stumbling over the yard lines because they're just not with it yet, and then you watch them at the end and you see like what they become, and yeah, they become that way because they've just gone to a lot of rehearsals, but they've also become that way because they've grown up a lot, they've matured a lot, and it's kind of neat to watch that evolution for them happen. So when you're an old guy like me, that's kind of what you remember, is how the kids grow up while they're here, and then they go off and they do great things. Some kids that I've taught over the years, now they're big time lawyers in New York, and they're doing great, they're great music educators in their own right. So they all kind of have gone on to do great things, and that evolution is really, really much.
All right, well said.
All right.
So that's all the time we have left for today. Be sure to tune in for more content from myself and my fellow ambassadors. And until then.